Hi everyone. So I purchased this 2-bedroom apartment in Business Bay at roughly 3.3 crores, right, or 1.4 million dirhams. And I was able to rent it at 120,000 AED or 120,000 dirhams or approximately 26-27 lakhs, which puts a net yield on this property to be close to 7.5%. Now, this is very high rental yield, and this is one of the features of Dubai real estate market. So on this video, I'm going to give you a reality check around Dubai real estate market, whether or not you should be making purchases or not. Now, many people would say that, okay, have you left Goa? Are you not investing in Goa? In fact, my latest real estate purchase was in Goa. So I remain very bullish. I'm an international investor. If you're new to my channel, then you would know that I have been traveling across the globe, investing my hedge funds money, investing my own personal wealth across different geographies where I see possibilities of growth. So I'm going to give you a perspective on Dubai's real estate market in 10 very simple points, which will give you a lot of clarity. Please note that this is investor's perspective. I'm not a real estate agent, broker, nothing of that sort. I have no intention of pumping property here and there, no, nothing like this. If I see opportunity, I myself put my money and help you get a better perspective on it. So let's begin. And point number one that you need to know about Dubai real estate market is the legality. Now, can people from any country in the world buy properties in Dubai? Well, majority of the people from different parts of the world can buy property in Dubai/UAE. Why? Because the Dubai government/UAE government allows that legally. You don't have to be a citizen of UAE to purchase property. Approximately 40 to 50% of the properties that are purchased in Dubai right now or last year, they were purchased by Indians. So, which is again a very interesting fact. So, a lot of Chinese, a lot of Indians, a lot of Canadians, a lot of people from UK are buying properties in Dubai. So, this is point one. Point two is that, okay, what if the law changes? What if something happens in the future? See, here you need to understand the perspective about investor relationships, right? So for example, the UAE government is very focused in terms of bringing foreign investment into their country. They make investor friendly climate. They make policies which are stable. Okay, so it's not as if that there will be some kind of knee-jerk reaction just to grab like your 2 BHK apartment or something of that sort. The reason being that they are playing a long-term game, and it kind of is a win-win both for the investor and for the UAE government, that if they create a positive system. So they are very investor friendly. This you can notice if you go to Dubai, you yourself will see a very big expat population. A lot of foreign investors are there. They live there, right? So from that perspective, it's a very investor friendly climate. On top of this, you might scratch your head and think about that, okay, what else can you tell me, right? I mean, why should I feel safe making the investment in UAE? Reason is very simple. That see, if you go and buy property in, let's say, India, okay, you have to get a lot of documents checked. For example, when I buy property in Goa, I have to probably like hobnob with my lawyer for 2 months just to figure out if the property is legit or not. Okay, you know, is there any kind of illegal capturing of that property? Is the land safe? Is there pipeline going under it? All that stuff. But in Dubai, this buying process is very clean. You just need to check a couple of documents and that's it. Of course, you can have a lawyer do a deeper due diligence, but from the government side, the regulatory process is very smooth. It's very easy. For example, here is a blockchain. You can go on this website. It's called Bayut. You yourself will be able to see a lot of things. For example, the pricing. Go to any project. For example, so I purchased my property in this project, right? And I will show it to you, right? So here it is, right? So for example, I purchased a 2-bed and this you can see, right? The apartments now are getting sold at 1.65, 1.8, all that stuff, right? So you can, like, of course, there will be price difference depending on at what price point the seller is selling. And if you click on it, then you will be able to get more property details, right? At what rent average it gets rented for. So depending on the view, size, all that stuff, there will be slight difference. My property got rented at 120. I purchased it at 1.4. Okay. So this data is very transparent because this is put on a blockchain by the DLD department or the Dubai land department itself. Okay. So there is a lot of clarity around data. There is a lot of clarity around regulation process. So from that note, from the legal point of view, it's fairly easy to buy a property in Dubai. Anyone can do it. You don't need to be a citizen. You just have to be a little bit careful in terms of buying leasehold properties. Okay, so there is a difference between freehold and leasehold. Freehold, most of the new properties that are getting built in Dubai, they are freehold properties, not leasehold properties. Leasehold mein hota hai, there is like a fixed period to which you can just own it. And in some cases, you can't own that property itself. For example, if you go to Emirates like Sharjah, a large chunk of the properties are not freehold. So as an international buyer, you can mostly buy freehold properties, right? So this is Point one, I hope this is clear. Now comes point number two, which is around ROI or return on investment. Here you need to understand the fact that a lot of properties are coming out or coming up in Dubai. The supply of properties has escalated at a crazy number, right from 2022, right? Now, usually when supply comes, for example, in 2022, a lot of developers in Dubai, they started realizing that, you know what, boss, Dubai real estate market is booming. So what would they do in 2022, 2023? Well, they will start building projects. Okay. Now those are called as off plan or under construction projects, so to say. Okay. Now they announce a project in 2022, 2023. Now the handover of those projects, when it is built, it will take a 3-4 year cycle. So a lot of supply is going to hit the market in 2026, 2027, 2028. So one could argue that Dubai real estate market is in a bubble. Okay. Some would argue that, you know what, no, nothing like this, right? The population of Dubai is growing. Government has a vision. They will bring more people in. So some are saying that, hey, okay, it is going to crash. Some are saying that it is not going to crash. What is my viewpoint? I don't know. Okay. I don't believe in speculation. For me, if I find a good deal, I'll buy it. I'll just treat it as an investment. According to my understanding, a lot of areas are in a bubble. A lot of areas in Dubai are not in a bubble. They are at a very reasonable price, reasonable rate. So you really need to understand the nitty-gritties of buying the individual unit that you are buying. Okay. Again, people give the argument here that, you know what, if you buy a townhouse or if you buy a villa, your appreciation will be crazy or your return will be crazy. It doesn't work like that. Okay. Basically, even within townhouse projects or villa projects or 2-bedroom apartment projects, you have to go at a project level and analyze it. Now, how do you do it? So I'm actually running a workshop in Dubai, right? So in case you are interested, I will teach about UAE stocks. I'll teach about real estate in Dubai. I will share entire perspective. I'll bring like external speakers. So it's going to be a very interesting event. You will get to network, meet with a lot of people who are doing well in Dubai. They have been based in Dubai. So this is an investment summit that I'm holding. So in case you're a serious investor who wants to grow your network in Dubai, definitely come and attend. The primary USP of this event is that A, you will learn structured investing across different asset classes, including cryptos, including US stocks. And on top of that, you will be able to build a physical network. I, in fact, plan on converting this into a Dubai investment club where you will be able to meet regularly with people, right? And that will be a major value add of this event. So in case you are interested, there are only a handful of seats, right? So please do sign up. Most of these have already been sold. I have not even publicly announced it. It was bought by existing students only, right? So they are enjoying the courses. So in case you are interested in being a part of this summit, it's very, very interesting. Please do sign up and read the details. So just expanding on the point about ROI, that just generally saying that, you know what, okay, Dubai property is great or Dubai property is not great. It's not like that. You have to do proper analysis. Generally speaking, are Dubai properties good? Yes, right. It is good. It is safe to buy, right? But your ROI depends on, most importantly, your buying price. So I'll come back to this point, but let me also cover like other things that, for example, it depends on the type of property that you are buying. Does it have a view? Does it not have a view? Which area are you buying? Some areas, for example, are getting stagnant. Some areas are too early. For example, Dubai South, which is an area here on the map where new airport is coming. Now this is, one could argue, a lot of supply is going to come in the future. So you have to look at all these different points, how much supply is going to come, for what unit type, what the layout would be, which other areas are competing or going to compete with this. Why would people live here? Are they buying for investing, Airbnb, or are they buying for end living? Is it a townhouse villa? At what price will you be able to rent? 100 different complications are there. So I will not bore you with it. But this entire question of ROI, return on investment, really depends on primarily like your buying price, right? At what price do you buy, right? And at what price you are able to rent that unit, or in case you are looking at ROE, return on equity, then at what price are you able to sell it? Okay. If I have to talk about salient points, right, which people do not typically talk about, do prices of properties fall in Dubai? Yes. Okay. Would prices of properties fall in Goa? No, right? Very, very unlikely. At least not in good areas, good villas. If you are buying a villa in Goa, it will not fall in value. Okay. In the past, we have seen that Dubai property prices can fall. Now, why am I telling you that? Well, for that, you need to understand the concept of speculation, right? Speculation simply means that, for example, the entry exit prices in terms of buying property in India, be it in Goa, be it any other part of India, it involves a lot of transaction taxes. For example, if you're buying a land in Goa, which is worth, let's say 1 crore, okay, then you have to pay like 9% stamp duty on it. Now in Dubai, that stamp duty is very less. So it's 4%. Okay, so that's what the stamp duty is. On top of that, there is no exit tax. For example, if you buy land in Goa at 1 crore, sell it at 1.5, now you have to pay a capital gains. But that capital gains in Dubai is zero. If you are renting an apartment in Dubai, right? Then, and if you're making like 25, 26 lakhs, how much tax do you need to pay? The answer is zero if you are a tax resident of Middle East, okay? Now, because of lower taxation, people speculate on properties in Dubai. That's part A. Part B is that the UAE's stock market hasn't attracted much attention yet, okay? So therefore, people who are making a lot of money in UAE, they tend to invest in properties primarily, okay? So as a result, why do they invest? To speculate, right? That to trade on that property. In India, people primarily buy property to not to speculate. Okay, so this is how I'll put it. This is the difference. And therefore, the property prices, like stock prices in India, can go down, right? So this is not a structural issue here. It's just that as long as you're buying at the right price. Now, which brings me to this point, right? That your buying price matters a lot. For example, let me show you, right? And here you need to understand the difference between off plan and ready. Okay, so off plan का मतलब क्या होता है and ready का मतलब क्या होता है? For example, this apartment right here, this 1.651, it's ready. It's a ready apartment. You can buy it today and rent it out from tomorrow. Okay, so you can see the pictures and everything. I'll not bore you with this, but if you go right and here you can see all and off plan. So here this project is already ready, so I can't show you off plan here. But if you just search the location business bay, okay, so and if you type off plan, okay, so off plan, if you see now here what happens is that this building is not ready, okay, and it is being sold at what, right? So if you take this price 2.5 million dirham divided by area 1.1061 square feet, so it comes out to be 2500 dirhams per square feet. Okay, so I hope that you got it, that how am I doing this computation. Now if I take you back to the unit that I had purchased, for example here, right, so this is ready. Okay, so here at what PSF am I buying? So I pick this 1.65 million divided by 1000. So it comes out to be at a PSF of 1600. Now properties that will get ready after 2-3 years or whatever, those off-plan properties are getting sold at 2500 PSF. Here you could buy ready at 1700 PSF. So you really need to think why you are paying a premium, because technically what should have happened is that, hey, okay, existing ones are more valuable, so to say, okay, rather than something where you are locking your money now and there is no income that is happening from it. You can't rent it. So the price point at which you are buying, and I'm not trying to indicate which is better because there are 100 different things that you need to consider, the building quality, all that stuff, how well it is maintained, all that. But you really need to get an understanding whether you're buying something at the right price. Okay. And yeah, so, and this is very complicated to do in Dubai. Now, again, this is a point that I'll cover on my workshop also. So in case you are interested, definitely do sign up. You will be able to learn a lot from people in that workshop itself. So I hope that this point is clear. This is point number 2 regarding ROI, that a lot of your ROI is dictated by at what price point you're able to buy and whether or not you're buying the right product. And definitely the property price can fall. Okay, why? Because it's a little bit speculative in nature. Then comes point number 3, that okay, what is the best area to buy properties in Dubai? Should I just go and buy a Burj Khalifa facing apartment? See guys, honestly, like if you're buying Burj Khalifa facing apartments with a Burj view, it's going to cost you Burj views money. You cannot buy like a property which is Burj Khalifa facing at extremely cheap prices. It's not going to happen. Okay, it's like common sense. Okay, this is the primary problem in Dubai real estate market, that the price variation is huge, right, in terms of similar properties. There are people who are buying similar properties at 2500 dirham square feet and another person buying it at, let's say, 1700 dirham square feet. Okay, now that's huge difference. The discrepancy or the range is crazy. Okay, so for example, some of the premium developers here, which are considered to be very high quality work, so I'll not name them. So there they charge like a 60% premium. 60. Now I'm not saying 16. I'm saying 60%. 60. That if you go and pick, let's say, any area. For example, here if you go right, you type like, let's say, Dubai Silicon Oasis. So typically here the apartments are relatively less expensive. So you can see that it is at 1000 dirham PSF. Okay, so this is the typical going rate. But if you consider some of the new launches and go and play around with this website, and you yourself will be able to see it, that if you look at some of the new launches, then it's like they are demanding 60% more premium. So they will be selling the same square feet or like 1200, 1300 square feet, like 2.5 million dirham apartments, okay, which is like absolute crazy. Okay, so it's less of a question of, okay, which area is good. There are a lot of good areas, so I'll just introduce you to the map of Dubai. So basically this quick 1 minute conversation is going to help you out, right? So for example, this is where the current hotspot of Dubai is. This is Sheikh Zayed Road, right? Sheikh Zayed Road, right? And this is the main road that connects all the Emirates, right? So this is a straight line road and people can drive really fast, right, in non-traffic hours. And this is the main access road. Okay, so before 2008, right, there was hardly any other parts of Dubai that was built, and this was the main sort of a highway, right? Okay, and this is like absolute tier 1 property, right, if you buy anything here, right, in this zone, right? Now of course it depends on the view, how close it is from the downtown, all that stuff, small minor differences here there, but if I have to tag it at like tier 1, this is what tier 1 would be. Iske piche aate jao, right? So this will be tier 2, right? This area, this is where a lot of townhouses, projects, Arabian ranches and whatnot have come, right? So this is where this will be like tier 2 category properties. Then a lot of expansion is happening like in this area, right? So this area and connecting to this road. Okay, so this becomes like your tier 3, and yahan pe jaise Sharjah वगैरह में भी a lot of township projects, villa projects are coming here and all that, right? So then if you go to Ajman, then the cost of living is even cheaper, all that stuff, right? So I'll not name specific projects, but the way you need to study the map is that the proximity to this road, right, how far is it? This is pretty much what dictates the premium in terms of location right now. Okay, that's part A. Part B is that proximity to a metro station. So that's again a very important point, because statistics tell us that almost 75% of transactions in Dubai had happened for less than 1 million dirhams. Okay, so 2.5 crore se kam wali property hai. Mostly these were 1BR/studios. Okay, so there is massive competition, right? Because now you'll listen to this video, you will get excited that, okay, I'm going to buy like a 1 bedroom, okay, or I'll buy a studio. Studio is even smaller than like 1 bedroom. Usme kitchen and bedroom is everything mixed together. Okay, so why, right? I mean, so here is where you'll face the most competition also, right? That in order to rent, once you buy it, you have to rent it, all that stuff. So honestly, it's less of a question of that, okay, which location are you buying? Of course, like, I mean, you know, because all the locations are going to grow, right, in the future, but it's more about like, you know, what specific layout are you buying? Proximity to these small hubs. Is it walkable, not walkable? Because in Dubai, the transport charges are fairly high, right? Especially if you're taking a taxi. Now, many people prefer to buy like near a metro because of that reason. So some regions, for example, Al Furjan is picking up. Why? Because of the proximity to a metro station. Now, of course, like, I mean, if you believe in this thesis, next job becomes that you find something which is at close proximity to a metro station and buy at the right price. So this buying at the right price, I'll keep on stressing it. It's not a very easy thing to do, but this is where knowledge comes in. But I'm just trying to push you that people typically think that, okay, entire Dubai property market will go up. No, nothing like this. Certain areas will grow. Within that, certain types of units will grow. So understanding or having that nuanced understanding is very, very critical. So to be honest, there is no right or wrong area to buy in Dubai. Then comes the next point that, okay, what is the price point of properties and what I can buy a good unit at? See, now here you can define the markets into 4 different segments. One will be ultra luxury, right? Here you would have to spend like in excess of 20 crore plus INR, which is approximately like 9 million dirhams. And here you will get like standalone villas, which are big, 4 bedroom, 5 bedroom. Because the supply of such villas is so less, you will typically not go wrong with these type of units. Okay, but for this you require crazy money. This is layer 1. Okay, layer 2 would be somewhat luxury, right? So here, for example, if you're buying a Burj Khalifa facing apartment, 3 bedroom, it will cost you like, again, like, you know, 10, 11. But like, I mean, if you're buying a 3 bedroom, 2000, so in downtown, then you could potentially buy it at like 5-6 million. So approximately like 12 crores, right? So this is where this will be the luxury segment, somewhere around 5-6 million dirhams, right? Here you will have townhouses, villas, all that stuff. Third would be budget segment, right? So somewhere between like 1.5 to 3 million dirhams, right? So this is where massive amount of transaction starts happening, and this is where you really need to study the type of property that you're buying. And under 1 million, 1.2 million segment, that is where massive competition is. If you don't buy the right type of unit, because the supply of such property is so high that you can go massively wrong. Okay, so to cut the long story short, the price point, the easiest price point to buy is buy something less than 1.5 million. That's a budget segment. I have first purchased my first property in budget segment. Reason being that I got a very good deal. Now you have to work really hard to figure out these type of deals. In case you guys are interested, I'll make a video how I was able to find it, lower my acquisition cost, etc., etc. Because I'm an investor. So for me, like, you know, I really sort of look at the deals very closely, yields very closely, and out of like 500 properties that I scouted, I ended up buying one. Okay. So that is the bottom line, right? That, okay, I cannot just, if you are, the more money you have, the easier it gets to buy a property or a right type of a property in Dubai, because then your competition is very less. Okay, so that's how I will put it. But I don't want to disappoint you that if you're looking to buy like a property less than 1.5 million dirhams, can it be done really well? Yes, it can be. It's just that you need that knowledge alpha to go with you. Okay. Next point, ease of operations. For example, you buy the property, what do you do with it? Can you, like, I mean, for example, you might be living in India. You bought a property here, a studio, 1 bedroom. You got a good deal. You bought it. You got the possession. Now what, right? What will you do with it? So you have two options. One is that you put it up on long-term rent. Option number two is that you put it up on Airbnb. Okay. Both can be done. In option one, right? In order to put it up on long-term rent, I think this is the way international investors should think. The reason is very simple, that when it comes to putting up your unit on an Airbnb, there are a lot of operational challenges, or there might be operational challenges for you if you only have one unit. Okay. Why? Because, you'll have to go via an agency, because you cannot be here and, manage things. Then you have to pay them like 15-20% cut. So bach ke, right, even whatever you end up making, it will not be much from that angle. So it kind of makes sense for you to scout properties which can be put up on long-term rent. Then natural question comes that, okay, fine, that's how I'll figure it out. So then comes a very natural question that, okay, how easy is it to put up properties on rent on long term? Fairly easy, right? You have to go via broker many cases. If you can find a direct kind of a customer, right, you can do that also. For example, I put my unit on long term rent. I did not put it up on short term rent. Then comes a natural question that, okay, if I am looking to put up a unit on long term rent, are there specific type of projects where I should invest? 100% yes. Okay. So for example, a lot of shiny new towers are coming up, a lot of new shiny new casinos are coming up, etc., etc. Now see guys, I mean, basically there people are unlikely to be living for what? Like, they are not, tourists are only going to come there. People are not going to buy and live there, right? So in case you are an international investor, what type of property you should buy? Ideally, from an operations point of view, it makes a lot of sense for you to buy a property which you can rent for long term. Even long term rentals in Dubai are fascinating, and this is where the market is, right? So this is the type of property that I would encourage you to think more about. Okay. Next point is regarding ease of liquidation. So how easy is it to sell a property? It's not that complicated. It's again comes down to the price that you are willing to take a hit at. But typically at the time of selling, you'll have to hire a broker, right? You have to pay them a 2% commission, right, in order to sell your property. That's typically speaking, right? Sometimes you lete hain, sometimes whatever. Like, so they might charge something more from like buyer. It's a little bit of a up in the air type of process here. But yes, I mean, it's still very well structured from that perspective, right? You hire a broker, you send them the photos of your apartment. You create a power of attorney if you're not physically here. So it's not that complicated to liquidate. So liquidating it is also not that challenging. Okay. Then comes additional advantages that, okay, if you buy a property in Dubai, why not like in Thailand? Okay. See, what happens in terms of buying a property in Dubai, that it opens up your visa opportunities, your work opportunities, your business opportunities. For example, if you invest 2 million dirhams or more, then you get a golden visa. If you invest 750,000 dirhams, then that opens up an investor visa, right? So this sorts out your equation in terms of going in and out of UAE. So this is an additional advantage which majority of the countries outside Middle East do not give, right? For example, if you buy a property in Thailand, there are no additional advantages when it comes to visas, right? So this is a slight difference. Then comes point number 8, which is that if I compare it to India, Mumbai, Delhi, Gurgaon, right, Dubai, where will you place it? How do you comment on this? See, this is a very longer conversation, but if I have to give you like a summary, long-term rent potential in Delhi, Gurgaon, Noida, all this is really bad. Okay. Why? Because the rental yield typically is not more than 3.5%, 4%. That too, you have to pay a lot of taxes. So I personally do not see any mathematical sense in terms of buying properties in these locations, which are major metros. Number 2 is that even the pricing of the property. For example, if you consider Mumbai, then the price of the property in Mumbai on per square feet basis is much higher than that in Dubai, which makes no sense whatsoever. Third is the exit taxes, that when you sell a property in Mumbai, Delhi, this, that, right, then it's, yeah, you have to again pay a crazy amount of taxes. That is everywhere. What type of properties can you buy in India? I would say villa, bungalow, land, right? So that is where growth opportunities are in India. What type of properties am I buying in Goa? villa, land, etc. Right? So that's what I am looking at, right? So why? Because that can really appreciate really fast, right? Especially if you can develop something nice on it, right? So that is the game in India, that you buy a land, you develop something nice on it, then liquidate it. Or if you want to hold it, retain it, cash flow it, all that can be done. So that is the game in India. What is the game in Dubai? Well, the game in Dubai is that it gives you like visa benefits, it gives you business opportunities, it allows you to move in and out. On top of that, it gives you very good rental yield if you are buying and renting that unit, provided you have bought it at a good rate, provided you have done your due diligence. Okay, so that is the game in Dubai. So the game is different. That's what you need to understand. Point number 9, people keep on saying that, okay, Dubai property market is going to come down, go up. I don't know. Okay, that's speculation. I've already explained you this concept of speculation. This is very hard to judge. Dubai real estate market is like India's stock market, so to say. It's just that it's not listed, so you can't see it. But to cut the long story short, it is speculative because of low taxation or close to no taxation. Therefore, it is speculative. That, for example, if you buy something at 1 crore today, right, in Dubai, or like 1 million dirhams in Dubai today, and in 3 months, if the price goes to 1.5 million dirhams, you'll say, okay, great, right? I mean, I can liquidate it, pay like 0% tax on it. So people do that, right? So people play this game in Dubai. There is nothing wrong with it. The only issue is that if a price correction comes, Dubai property can fall by 15-20%. I don't see it falling more than that. Now, whether or not that will happen, I don't know. Maybe the property, it was at 100 dirhams, it will go to 150 and then correct by like 20%. So I don't know. No one can know that. But the thing that you can do is very simple, that you buy the right type of property, irrespective of the market circumstances, it will still make money for you. Then comes the last point, which is around financing. That can you finance your property easily in UAE? Short answer is yes and no, right? Yes, in the sense that, for example, if you're buying something off plan, right, then the developer himself is going to give you a payment plan. For example, if you buy a under construction property, then that payment plan is given to you by the developer itself. On the flip side, you'll say that, no, I want to buy like a ready unit. Can I get financing on it? Again, you have to go and speak with a mortgage specialist. But my practical understanding on this is that it's not that easy. The reason being that if you have no credit history in UAE, it's different. If you are in UAE, you have a job here as an Indian origin person or as a UK person, then it's different. But if you are living internationally, you have no credit history in the Middle East, why would a bank give you any reasonable amount of loan here? So that is a little bit challenging. So that's what I would say. But again, speak with a mortgage specialist. There are always like, small minor points here, which they might know, which I don't know. But in my case, I had done an entire cash financing because back then I did not have any source of income here. Now over time, as I've started to get rent, I have a cash flow income here. So now if I have to take loans now to buy my second property in Dubai, I can potentially do that. So once I go through that process, I will let you know. I hope you enjoyed this video. It gave you hopefully a lot of clarity. If it did, do subscribe to the channel and I'll see you soon.